Hello, guys. Welcome to your Bitcoin report. Today is, well, Thursday, March 7th, 2019. And, you know, I got a lot to talk about. I just got finished doing a show over at Financial Turmoil Explained. We are in such trouble. I can't tell you how much trouble we're in. And one of the things that's leading us into trouble is and going to cause more trouble than you could imagine. The British people, the Parliament, British Parliament, they got two votes coming up. One vote for a hard Brexit, a no-deal Brexit. And the other vote is to push the whole thing off for 3 more months. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, which way do you guys think they're going to go with this? I think they're going to decide to push it off for 3 more months because that's what government always does. And they're awful scared of a hard Brexit. Okay? That pushing it off for 3 more months is probably the worst decision that they could possibly make because Britain is getting ready to go into a recession. And pushing it, this uncertainty over the Brexit is what's causing the malaise in the British economy. And the British economy is falling down a slope, a slippery slope. Just take a look at, let's open up the charts, just take a look at this real quick. A threat of a new recession is rising, and the United Kingdom is dangerously underprepared. Their GDP shrank by 0.4% in December, and they're desperately short of economic firepower. And this looming dark clouds of a hard Brexit is slowing down their economy even further. By the time the numbers get in for the first quarter of the year, it's probably going to be negative. And by the time the numbers get in for the second quarter, after this 3-month delay, which would be the worst idea in hell, which you're probably going to go for, that'll be the second negative quarter. Britain goes into a recession, so does Germany. Germany goes into a recession. Well, Canada does too. And Italy's already in a recession. You can see where this is going. We call it worldwide global recession. The United States is undergoing a slowdown in their economy. But let's not talk anymore about the economy, even though this is very exciting what's happening and dark storm clouds are looming, and this is going to be the storm from hell. Let's not talk about that too much more. I'm just seeing it as a driver for cryptocurrencies. Let's talk about this for a little bit. You know, this guy, he does a long article about cryptocurrency here, and he calls it the currency revolution. The third-based market revolution has begun. You know, and he comes down here and he talks an awful lot about history, what we've been through, all the way back to the year 1300. He starts at the year 1300 here. And he talks about how things slowly progressed, and by 1380 they were starting to use more coinage and stuff like that, and then 300 years more down the road, and it's a long article. And then by the year 1800, here he's up to the year 1800, he says half the village had gainful employment and so on. He talks about how we progressed, and then he talks about the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. He says the Industrial Revolution arrived, and he talks about the 1700s. He's moving up through history, and I think it's right here he starts to talk about where we are in the present day, you know. And so I'm going to skip to that. He says, here's where we reach the present day. The currency revolution is a third market-based revolution in modern history of our economy, and it's one that's about to take hold of all of our lives. So what he's saying is we're at the beginning of a new revolution, a currency revolution, and it's about to take hold of everything in the world. It's about to change everything. He says, when businesses begin to issue their own currency. Well, I'm going to carry that a little bit further. when businesses and banks begin to issue their own currency. We all know JP Morgan coin just came out. There's also a bank in Japan that just issued their own coin. Other banks are going to start following suit, right? He says, when businesses begin to issue their own currency, which their customers use to pay them in return for providing their own goods, that's huge. Now, what place is left for the banking system in all this? What place is left for fiat currencies? So it looks to me like we're entering an age where fiat currencies are going to become redundant. That's what I'm seeing in this. He says, when businesses begin to issue their own currencies, which their customers use to pay them in return for providing their own goods. When individuals use their personal digital brands to issue their own form of value which can be sold and the profits of which can be invested in starting new enterprises, when the entire currency system becomes not just state-controlled monetary function. There's the big key right there, what he said, just right there. State-controlled monetary function. This is such a game changer. This is the end of state-controlled monetary function. Now, you ought to understand something. State-controlled monetary function is what drives our entire system. It drives the governments. They need that state-controlled monetary function in order to make payroll to pay all their employees. This would mean the disintegration of government. I mean, this could lead to a transitionary period where the governments are completely underfunded because cryptocurrency is taking over and they're not able to collect on taxation and everything else, because how do you manage a crypto ecosystem? How do you tax it? Oh my God. This could be more disruptive than anything we've ever experienced before. And when I say disruption, I'm talking about having to change from something else into something new in such a short period of time that it causes worldwide disruption. In other words, whatever would come with complete worldwide disruption. All I can say is don't stop prepping, because this could be the thing that causes the worldwide disruption more than, especially if it gets a driver behind it. Something that's driving it into adoption. Fear. Global recession. Panic in the streets from the regular monetary system going into some sort of crazy hyperinflations and stuff like that. Okay, I was just studying yesterday about Dash, one of your cryptocurrencies, and they said the most usage they have in any other country on earth is, guess where? Where Dash is actually used more as a currency than any other country on earth. In fact, there's all kinds of merchants taking it in one specific country. Venezuela. Venezuela is undergoing a hyperinflation. Venezuela is one of the first countries that's having the big problems that we're heading into. It's forcing adoption. The Venezuelan people are having to learn a learning curve of how to use cryptocurrency. They're being forced into it. Well, I can see this worldwide recession, the central banks trying to stimulate the economies, and the whole world becoming Venezuela, and this adoption of cryptocurrency being forced on the people, basically, being forced to move into cryptocurrencies because the old system that we've had, this system of state-controlled monetary function, is failing. It's a failing system. And we got the new system ready to come in. The new system is cryptocurrencies. Oh my gosh, we're heading for some awful momentous times in the very near future. You guys stay tuned. I'm going to try to stay on top of this. Bye-bye for now.